Dear sisters, imagine for a moment opening the door of your home and suddenly and profoundly feeling that the atmosphere is transformed into a haven of peace and mystery. It is as if, in the air you breathe, there were hidden a whisper from heaven, an echo of love and protection that transcends the everyday. It is not a passing illusion, but a subtle vibration that fills every corner, a feeling that heavenly forces have left their mark on the place where you live. In that instant, every step, every breath becomes a magical experience, where the visible merges with the invisible and the soul is filled with an unshakable certainty. You are protected and guided by messengers of light. This encounter with the divine is not limited to a fleeting vision or a phenomenon that can be explained with common words. It is the silent testimony that heaven and earth are connected, that in the midst of daily worries and the simplest routines, the love of the Almighty is present in surprising ways. That inexplicable peace, those flashes of light in the darkness, those aromas that seem to have no earthly origin, are messages that invite us to open our hearts and trust in the protection of those who inhabit the celestial sphere. Every detail, no matter how small it may seem, has a purpose, to remind us that we are not alone, that the invisible hand of the Creator reaches out to shelter us, and that in every corner of our home lies the promise of divine care. These manifestations, far from being simple coincidences, are hidden signs that angels have passed through our space, leaving behind a trail of hope, comfort, and inexhaustible love. Allow yourselves to pause for a moment and feel that connection. Let every flash, every scent, every sensation of warmth or freshness become a living reminder that heaven is not as far away as it seems. That deep within you burns the certainty that you have been chosen to live in a blessed environment, in a refuge where the divine is present at every moment. This is not just a phenomenon. It is an invitation to live with a renewed outlook, to open your senses to the reality of the spiritual, and to walk with the confidence of knowing that heavenly love always accompanies you. My dear sisters, imagine for a moment that you enter your home and, without warning, you feel that something has changed. It is not that the environment has become cooler or that the light is different, but that there is a calm so profound and a serenity so inexplicable that it floods every corner of your being. This peace is not the result of chance or the mere comfort of a well-kept home. It is a sensation that transcends the ordinary and that tells us of the presence of something much greater, something divine. It is as if, in the midst of the daily routine and the worries that often overwhelm us, a subtle and celestial energy has settled in your space, enveloping you in an embrace of protection and unconditional love. That peace, so inexplicable and yet so comforting, is a manifestation of the action of angels in your environment. It is not simply a passing emotion or a favorable mood, but an experience that defies any natural explanation. It is the certainty that, even if you cannot see them, there are beings of light who have been sent by the Creator to guard every step, every thought, and every beat of your heart. In those moments when, upon entering a room, you feel your entire being become quiet, as if every worry dissipates into the air, it is possible that you are perceiving the subtle intervention of angels who watch over and bless your home. This peace is not the absence of problems or the denial of daily challenges, but the deep certainty that, despite the storms that may rage in the outside world, a divine order reigns in your home, a refuge of tranquility where the presence of the Almighty is palpable. It is a silent testimony that, in the midst of life's uncertainties, there is an invisible care, a heavenly hand that protects and guides you, and that manifests itself in a whisper of calm in the tumult of your days. When you experience this inexplicable peace, you feel deep within that you are not alone. That feeling of being enveloped by a mantle of serenity and divine love is a sign that God's messengers are nearby, working silently to guard your life and that of your family. It is not a passing phenomenon or an illusion of the mind, but a spiritual reality that connects you to the heavenly realm and reminds you that the Creator cares for you in such an intimate and personal way that nothing in this world can separate you from His love. Allow yourself then to open your heart to this experience. Do not reject it or minimize it, even if it seems difficult to explain or understand with human logic. Recognize that there are dimensions of reality that transcend our understanding, and that in those moments when you feel that overwhelming peace, God is reminding you that His presence is constant, that His love surrounds you, and that, through His angels, He takes care of every detail of your life. May this peace be a beacon that illuminates your days, undeniable proof that in your home there is a divine presence that not only accompanies you, but blesses and protects you with an intensity that can only come from heaven. My dear sisters, sometimes as we walk through the halls of our home, we may perceive a scent that does not seem to come from any natural source. It is a sweet smell, sometimes comparable to sacred incense or the freshness of flowers in the middle of spring, which spreads through the environment in an inexplicable way. This fragrance, which bursts into the space without a candle having been lit or a diffuser having been used, awakens in the soul a feeling of mystery and wonder. It is not simply a perfume. It is a subtle sign that something transcendental is happening around us. When you smell this scent, it's as if the air is filled with a special, almost ethereal energy that envelops you and calms your worries. It's a silent reminder that amidst the worries and hustle and bustle of everyday life, there is a loving and protective presence that manifests itself in ways that defy our earthly understanding. This fragrance, so delicate yet so powerful, has the gift of transforming the environment, making every corner of your home fill with a comforting feeling and a peace that can only be of divine origin. Throughout history, numerous testimonies recount similar experiences, where people have noticed that, in moments of great need or deep reflection, their homes were filled with aromas that could not be explained by human means. These smells are often accompanied by a feeling of protection, as if an invisible hand were watching over every step and every decision. It is in these moments that the soul awakens and recognizes that there is a heavenly presence working silently, guiding, caring for, and blessing your surroundings. It is not a simple sensory whim or an illusion of the mind. It is a phenomenon that has been observed in different cultures and times, and has always been interpreted as a sign that angels are near. They, messengers of the Almighty, use these subtle aromas to remind us that heaven is not so far away, and that, despite the difficulties of life, we are never helpless. This aroma, so sweet and mysterious, acts as a bridge between the earthly and the divine, inviting you to open your heart and feel the protection and love of God in a very tangible way. So, every time you notice that inexplicable scent in your home, allow yourself to stop, breathe deeply, and let that aroma speak to you. Perhaps, in that instant, you may feel a special connection, an inner certainty that you are not alone and that higher forces are working for your well-being. It is a call to trust, to let faith fill every corner of your being, and to recognize that, even in the everyday, God manifests Himself in subtle and beautiful ways. My dear sisters, sometimes when the environment becomes dark or simply in moments of stillness, our eyes can catch flashes of light that do not come from any known source. Imagine finding yourself in a room where darkness reigns, and suddenly, without warning, bright flashes or soft lightning appear, as if a divine energy had settled there to remind you that heaven touches earth. It is not an illusion or trick of the mind, but a subtle manifestation of the angelic presence in your home. These flashes are not mere visual effects, but symbols loaded with spiritual meaning. Light, in so many traditions and in the word itself, is synonymous with the divine, with truth, with the presence of God. When these unexpected flashes appear in the midst of darkness, it is as if heavenly messengers want to remind you that although the world seems shrouded in shadows, The light of the Almighty is always present to dispel them. This supernatural luminosity is a testimony that forces of light are at work, watching over you and your family with a protective love that transcends the visible. Each flash is a visual whisper, a reminder that we are not alone, that there are heavenly guardians who appear to remind us of their closeness. In those moments when your eyes light up with that unexpected radiance, you may feel a mixture of wonder and peace inside, a sense that something divine has happened, leaving an indelible mark on your heart. It is as if the sky itself wanted to tell you, I am with you. Protect and guide each of your steps. This manifestation of light is also a call to pay attention. It is not simply a matter of admiring a phenomenon, but of recognizing that it is part of a larger message. It is an invitation to open the spiritual senses, to look beyond what the eyes see, and to perceive the subtle language of the Spirit. The flashes can be signs that accompany moments of prayer, meditation, or when you are in a state of spiritual openness and receptivity. Its presence urges you to stop, to reflect and to let that light penetrate the depths of your being, reminding you that even in times of darkness, the splendor of the divine does not go out. If you have ever experienced these luminous manifestations in the silence of your home, consider them a blessing, a gift from heaven that invites you to trust even more in the protection and inexhaustible love of the Lord. Let each flash strengthen your faith. Let each spark of light be an anchor that reminds you that, despite the shadows of the world, the heavenly light always prevails and envelops you with its protective mantle. My dear sisters, imagine that you walk into a room and suddenly feel a warm breeze enveloping you, as if the usual coldness has dissipated in an instant and a comforting embrace has taken its place. It is not the air conditioning or a change in the weather, but something beyond the natural, a sensation that fills every fiber of your being with a deep tranquility. This sudden, comforting warmth is not the result of the weather, but seems to emanate from a divine presence, as if angels were watching over you and leaving their mark on the environment. This transformation in temperature is experienced as a palpable reminder that, amidst the worries and hustle and bustle of everyday life, there are heavenly forces silently working to provide you with protection and care. It is as if, in a moment of uncertainty or emotional burden, heaven itself manifests itself in your home to dispel fear and renew your hope. The warmth you feel not only comforts the body, but penetrates the soul, reminding you that you are not alone and that there is a loving power watching over your every step. That feeling of warmth, unexpected, and at the same time deeply comforting, is an invitation to stop and acknowledge the presence of the divine. It is a subtle but powerful sign that even though you cannot see the messengers of light, their influence is felt in a tangible way. Allow yourself to enjoy that warmth as a blessing, a whisper from heaven telling you that you are cared for, protected, and loved. Every time you feel that warmth, may you receive it as a sign of the incessant work of those who, in the silence of the universe, accompany you and envelop you in their mantle of peace and love. My dear sisters, sometimes when the night becomes silent and the mind rests, mysterious portals open into the realm of dreams and visions. These are not just fleeting images that fade away when you wake, but deep and meaningful revelations that seem to come from a place far above the ordinary. During these moments of sleep, you may find yourself immersed in a dream that impacts you so intensely that when you open your eyes, you feel deep within yourself that something has changed. It is as if the veil between this world and the divine has been lifted for an instant, allowing you to receive a message of love, guidance, or protection that transcends all natural explanation. These dreams and visions, which often come in the midst of darkness, can come in many different forms: vibrant images, symbols that seem to have a special meaning, or even words and phrases that resonate within you with a clarity you never knew existed. When you wake up, what you feel is not a passing confusion, but a deep certainty that you have received something extraordinary. a communication that is not a figment of the imagination, but a clear sign that heavenly forces have left their mark on your life. It is as if an invisible hand had traced a message in your heart urging you to trust, to act, or to prepare for what is to come. This form of communication is not random or without reason. It is charged with purpose. Often, these dreams come at times of vulnerability, when the soul cries out for comfort or when guidance is needed to navigate difficult situations. In those moments, the vision becomes a channel through which the promise of protection is transmitted, and the reassurance that you are not alone, that there are angels watching over you and your home. The experience becomes almost tangible. The image, the color, the feeling of peace, and the certainty of having been touched by something divine accompany you throughout the day, reminding you that, even in the midst of darkness, the heavenly light does not go out. It's fascinating how sometimes details that seem confusing or enigmatic at first eventually take on a clear meaning, revealing warnings, confirmations, or instructions that transform your perspective and encourage you to move forward with renewed hope. It's not an immediate process, but rather a path of discovery in which each symbol and image becomes a key to understanding God's greater plan for you. In that experience, the dream becomes a bridge between the visible and the invisible, between earthly life and eternity, showing you that divine protection and guidance manifest in subtle but unmistakable ways. Whenever you encounter a dream or vision that leaves you with a sense of peace and direction, take it as a gift from heaven, a reminder that there is a presence of light in your home. Allow yourself to reflect on those moments, hold them in your heart, and look to them for confirmation that in the midst of your daily struggles, God's hand and the care of His angels are manifesting in your life in mysterious and amazing ways. My dear sisters, there are times when we return home and notice that something has changed in a subtle way, almost imperceptible at first glance. Walking through the living room or kitchen, we notice that an object, which was always in a familiar place, seems to have shifted, or that some detail, which was previously unnoticed, is now presented in a different position. This is not just a simple everyday mess, but an indication that an invisible presence has passed by, reorganizing the space with a touch of heavenly care. This change in the order of our home is not the result of chance or carelessness, but a sign that forces of light are working in our favor. It is as if, in the midst of our worries and daily routine, a gesture of divine love has been inserted, reminding us that we are not alone and that the Creator has set in motion angels who watch over and protect every corner of our environment. The simple sight of an object in an unexpected place becomes a silent testimony that, although our eyes cannot see the messengers of light, their trace is manifested in every detail of our home. Feel, for example, the comforting knowledge that something has been moved with precision and purpose, as if someone had passed by and delicately rearranged the environment to reflect a higher order. That feeling that the home has been touched by something transcendent not only alleviates any anxiety, but also strengthens our faith, as it reminds us that there is an invisible care, a protective mantle that envelops each of our spaces. This experience, which at first glance may seem trivial, has a profound spiritual meaning. It is an invitation to open our senses beyond the material and to recognize that the world in which we live is permeated by the loving action of the divine. Every time we detect that an object has been moved or that an element has changed its location, we are offered the opportunity to reflect on the presence of angels, those beings of light who, sent by the Almighty, work silently to bring harmony, protection, and blessing to our home. It is not about seeking rational explanations for every detail, but about allowing ourselves to be surprised and embracing the wonder that God manifests Himself in everyday life. It is a reminder that, even in the simplest aspects of our lives, His love is present and cares for us with an attention that surpasses any human understanding. Each small change, each subtle reorganization, is a seed of hope that encourages us to trust in divine protection and to live with the certainty that heaven is, in one way or another, touching our daily lives. My dear sisters, there are times when, as you go through the day, you suddenly feel that you are not alone, as if an invisible and loving presence has landed at your side to accompany you every step of the way. It is a feeling that goes beyond what our eyes can see or what our minds can explain, a deep certainty that envelops your soul and tells you, "I am here with you." This experience is not a figment of your imagination, but a reflection of the tender care of those messengers of light whom God sends to protect you. In the midst of hustle and bustle and loneliness, when the weight of worries seems to overwhelm you, a quiet and comforting peace manifests itself, a feeling of security that envelops you like a warm and protective blanket. It is as if, at every moment, a heavenly guardian watches over you, reminding you that, although the shadows may spread, the divine light never abandons you. This feeling of being watched, of feeling that there is someone watching over you and guiding you, becomes especially intense in moments of vulnerability. It can appear in the stillness of the night, when silence is present and the soul yearns for company, or in those moments when doubts and fears seem to want to rob you of hope. It is in those moments that you perceive the subtlety of a benevolent presence that not only encourages you, but also invites you to trust more deeply in the Almighty's plan for your life. The experience of feeling that you are not alone transforms your inner self. It is a tangible reminder that heaven touches earth, and that in every corner of your home, there is an angel ready to take care of every detail, to protect you in every situation, and to fill you with a peace that surpasses all human explanation. This invisible companionship strengthens your faith, gives you courage to face challenges, and makes you feel that, in the midst of uncertainties, there is always a divine hand supporting you. Allow yourself to receive this sensation with an open heart, welcoming it as a gift from heaven that renews your hope and encourages you to live with the certainty that each day you are protected and guided by the inexhaustible love of God. Because when you feel this presence, it is the echo of eternal care, a manifestation that the heavenly forces have set out to watch over you, to illuminate your path, and to remind you, with each beat of your heart, that you are never alone. My dear sisters, imagine that in the midst of your daily life, you begin to notice words, phrases, or even ideas that are repeated so precisely in songs, books, or conversations that they seem designed especially for you. It is as if, in each chord of a melody, or in each line of a text, there is a hidden message that heaven has wanted to leave you, reminding you that there is divine communication in every detail of life. These repetitions are not simple coincidences. They are flashes of a love that transcends the everyday subtle signs that messengers of light are working around you. When you hear a line in a song that moves you deeply, or when you find a quote in a book that resonates with your heart as if it speaks directly to your circumstances, you may be witnessing the hand of God at work. These messages, presented unexpectedly, invite reflection and prompt you to look at your life with new eyes, to discover meanings that may have previously escaped you. This is not just an echo of thoughts, but a heavenly invitation to stop, meditate, and connect with the essence of the divine. Perhaps in a conversation or a chance encounter, a word or concept is repeated over and over again, enveloping you in an atmosphere of mystery and certainty. That insistence, that almost imperceptible reiteration, may be the Almighty's way of reminding you that His presence is manifest in every corner, in every whisper of the wind, in every beat of your heart. It is as if the entire universe were uniting to send you a signal, a reminder that you are not alone and that the path you are walking is illuminated by a higher guide. These messages, these repetitions of meaning, are also a form of confirmation. They invite you to trust that each coincidence has a purpose, that each repeated word is a seed of faith that, when germinated, will transform the way you see the world. Allow yourself to open your heart and receive these small gifts from heaven. knowing that they are part of a divine dialogue, a silent conversation between the visible and the invisible. Every time you come across a sign like this, take a moment to reflect. What could the Lord be telling you at this moment? What area of your life needs to be illuminated with this revelation? Let these messages act as guiding beacons, as reminders that in the midst of routine and bustle, heaven communicates with you in ways so subtle and so wonderful that only an open heart will be able to appreciate them. These signs are a call to live with a more spiritual outlook, to recognize that every small detail can be part of a greater plan, a plan full of love, protection, and divine guidance. My dear sisters, sometimes when we cross the threshold of our home, we sense something that goes beyond the obvious, something that completely transforms the everyday atmosphere into a space filled with calm, joy, and a deep sense of well-being. It is as if, in a subtle and almost imperceptible way, a celestial energy permeates every corner, dissipating tensions and creating an atmosphere of harmony and positivity that envelops us in a cloak of hope and protection. This feeling that the home has become a blessed refuge is not the result of chance, nor of a mere whim of the environment. It is the result of divine intervention, of the presence of angels who, with their love and care, have left their mark on the space in which we live. When you enter a room, you can notice that the air feels different, that the light seems to dance softly, and that every object, every detail integrates into a symphony of order and peace. It is as if heaven itself had decided to descend to transform the everyday into something extraordinary. This atmosphere of peace and blessing manifests itself in many ways. You may feel that when you share a moment with your family or spend time alone, an inexplicable calm takes over your being, eliminating worries and filling you with a serene joy that reminds you of the constant presence of the divine. It is a sign that, in the midst of uncertainties and daily struggles, there is an invisible care that watches over you, that protects each of your steps, and that transforms your environment into a sanctuary of love. When you perceive this harmonious environment, it is as if every corner of your home becomes a testimony to God's goodness and power. Tensions dissolve, fears are calmed, and hope blossoms. This energy of positivity and protection not only refreshes the mind and body, but renews the spirit, reminding you that you are cared for by heavenly forces that care deeply about every detail of your life. This experience, which many describe as an aura of peace, is a tangible reminder that we are not alone, that heaven is present in the most intimate part of our home. It is the silent manifestation of an eternal love that envelops every object, every space, transforming it into a sacred refuge. In those moments, when harmony is felt almost palpable, the soul is filled with gratitude and faith is strengthened, knowing that divine protection is not just a promise, but a living reality that is experienced day by day. Allow yourself to open your heart to this presence. Let every breath, every heartbeat, be accompanied by the certainty that, in the midst of struggles and uncertainties, there is a light shining in your home, a silent testimony that the angels are there, working silently to bless and guard your dwelling. This transforming atmosphere is an invitation to live with hope, to see in every detail a sign of divine intervention, and to trust that, in your home, heaven has made itself present to offer you peace and protection. My dear sisters, sometimes when we cross the threshold of our home, we sense something that goes beyond the obvious, something that completely transforms the everyday atmosphere into a space filled with calm, joy, and a deep sense of well-being. It is as if, in a subtle and almost imperceptible way, a celestial energy permeates every corner, dissipating tensions and creating an atmosphere of harmony and positivity that envelops us in a cloak of hope and protection. This feeling that the home has become a blessed refuge is not the result of chance, nor of a mere whim of the environment. It is the result of divine intervention, of the presence of angels who, with their love and care, have left their mark on the space in which we live. When you enter a room, you can notice that the air feels different, that the light seems to dance softly, and that every object, every detail integrates into a symphony of order and peace. It is as if heaven itself had decided to descend to transform the everyday into something extraordinary. This atmosphere of peace and blessing manifests itself in many ways. You may feel that when you share a moment with your family or spend time alone, an inexplicable calm takes over your being, eliminating worries and filling you with a serene joy that reminds you of the constant presence of the divine. It is a sign that, in the midst of uncertainties and daily struggles, there is an invisible care that watches over you, that protects each of your steps, and that transforms your environment into a sanctuary of love. When you perceive this harmonious environment, it is as if every corner of your home becomes a testimony to God's goodness and power. Tensions dissolve, fears are calmed, and hope blossoms. This energy of positivity and protection not only refreshes the mind and body, but renews the spirit, reminding you that you are cared for by heavenly forces that care deeply about every detail of your life. This experience, which many describe as an aura of peace, is a tangible reminder that we are not alone, that heaven is present in the most intimate part of our home. It is the silent manifestation of an eternal love that envelops every object, every space, transforming it into a sacred refuge. In those moments, when harmony is felt almost palpable, the soul is filled with gratitude and faith is strengthened, knowing that divine protection is not just a promise, but a living reality that is experienced day by day. Allow yourself to open your heart to this presence. Let every breath, every heartbeat, be accompanied by the certainty that, in the midst of struggles and uncertainties, there is a light shining in your home, a silent testimony that the angels are there, working silently to bless and guard your dwelling. This transforming atmosphere is an invitation to live with hope, to see in every detail a sign of divine intervention, and to trust that, in your home, heaven has made itself present to offer you peace and protection. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, I come to you with a heart full of gratitude and reverence, recognizing that your love is manifested in every corner of my home through subtle and mysterious signs. Thank you for sending your angels, those messengers of light, to protect and guide me, and for making every sweet aroma, every unexpected flash, and every feeling of peace remind me that I am not alone. Today, I ask you to open my eyes and my soul to recognize your presence in the midst of the everyday, so that I can discern the message of love and protection that you wish to give me. Let the supernatural calm I feel when I open the door be a testimony of your care and your constant company, a reminder that a blanket of security and hope rests in my home. Help me to live each day with the certainty that your light illuminates my path, that each small miracle is a sign of your faithfulness, and that, through these signs, you invite me to fully trust in your divine providence. May my spirit be filled with the peace that surpasses all understanding, and may my life be a reflection of the grace and inexhaustible love that you pour out upon me. In your holy name, amen. My dear sisters, as we conclude this time together, I want you to take with you in your hearts the certainty that heaven manifests itself in every moment of our lives. May every flash of light, every inexplicable aroma, and every feeling of peace that invades your home be a powerful reminder that God and His angels are at your side, watching over you and guiding you at every step. Do not allow doubts or worries to cloud the wonder of knowing that you have been blessed with divine signs that strengthen and protect you. May this feeling of closeness to heaven inspire you to live with renewed faith and a spirit full of hope, knowing that, although at times the world seems dark, the love of the Almighty shines brightly in every corner of your existence. As I say goodbye, I invite you to embrace with gratitude each small miracle, to let the light of God illuminate your path, and to always walk with the certainty that you are never alone, because the divine presence envelops you in a blanket of eternal peace and protection. May the grace and love of the Lord accompany you today, tomorrow, and always.